You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, it's Saturday the 5th of April 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm still quite tired, if I'm honest. I did sleep very well last night. I went to bed later than I intended, actually. It was about 10:30, and woke straight through till 7:30. Sorry, slept straight through till 7:30, which was, a good 9 hours sleep, but it wasn't that it wasn't enough. It's just that I am jet lagged, so my body thinks I'm at a different time of day to what I actually am. So what did I do today? So the first thing I did, I got up, and I had a shopping delivery due, and I used one of those cheaper slots. So you pay more for a precise slot, but if you say anything between 8 and midday, it's a lot cheaper if you book a 4-hour slot. So I booked one of those, and actually it arrived about 10 o'clock, and that was really good. So I unpacked the shopping, put it away. But when I made the shopping order, since then I've made a decision, which is I've been talking about losing weight. Weirdly, I've been listening back to some of the earlier podcasts, and I've been talking about losing weight. I talked about ages ago, in the first 50 episodes. Or I'm gonna give you a weekly update every week, and I'm gonna do this. No, I didn't do any of it. So most of the food that I've ordered does have carbohydrates and stuff in it. So, I want to try and avoid carbs for a bit, because it's a good way of kick-starting a diet. It's not a good way of losing weight and keeping it off, but hopefully it'll just give me that confidence to continue. So one of the things I did this morning was I actually tried to make some carb-free, or not carb-free, but very, very low-carb bread. And I already bought some ingredients last week. So you use psyllium husk, ground psyllium husk, as a binding agent. It does the same job as egg, I suppose. And I had almond flour and not baking powder. Is that what, baking soda? Yeah. A little bit of salt. And made quite a good convincing version of dough, actually. And I actually also had bought some seeds to just dip the top into, so the top of the rolls had seeds in, and I made some quite passable rolls. Now, they didn't rise as much as I'd hoped they would in the oven. In fact, they came out rather small, very tasty, but very, very small. So I've ordered a larger muffin, because I cooked them in a muffin tin. I've ordered a larger muffin tin, which should arrive tomorrow. It should arrive at my local Waitrose tomorrow, which means I will need to go and collect it. I will try again tomorrow, making some slightly larger sort of carb-free bread rolls. I'm not actually carb-free today because I didn't think ahead and had to have something when I was out earlier, and had to have a sandwich, which isn't carb-free. But so I need to do that, because the one thing I've not been doing recently is I used to exercise a lot. I used to walk a lot and cycle a lot, and it's just not happening. So I'm going to try and kickstart my diet, basically, by cutting out carbs and then also start exercising. Hopefully that will work, but we shall see. And in terms of writing today, I did another 30 or so pages, maybe a bit more than that, but I've got about 30 pages left of still life to read. I'm utterly knackered, so I could have done more, but I was worried. Remember I wrote tired last week or the week before, and then worried about the implications of damage it might have done to the manuscript. So that's not a mistake I've made again today. So the stuff I was talking about yesterday, I still have to do. The other annoying thing is I've got a list somewhere of the common mistakes that I make. I've mentioned a couple of them in the podcast before. I won't do it again, and I can't find it for the life of me. So there are 3 books that I write that kind of thing down in, 2 old diaries and a notebook. And I found one of the old diaries and the notebook, but I haven't found the one that's got all those notes in, and it's pissed me off a little bit, to be honest, because not that I think I would have done it today because I'm not in the mood to do it today, but I was hoping maybe to do a live stream tomorrow to get the book signed off, but I can until I find this notebook, I think I won't. Having said that, one thing I did find whilst I was looking for it was a copy of the English Hikikomori that a relative of mine proofread for me, and nearly all of the things that I identified that I do wrong regularly came from that manuscript. So actually it's probably only a sort of 20-minute job to flick through it and make a note of the things that I need to look for. So maybe that'll be a job for tomorrow morning, is to flick through it, recreate that list, and see how it goes, really. But no, I'm just a bit annoyed I can't find it. So I've literally found every other notebook or every other book bar that one, and I've literally no idea where it is. I've looked every logical place and I can't find the bloody thing, so that's irritated me a little bit. But there we go. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be less jet lagged and less sleepy, and all being well, I will try and do a live stream at some point and get this thing signed off, as well as collecting my muffin tins so I can make some more keto friendly bread and start losing weight. We shall see how it goes. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a slightly better update. Bye bye.
You have been listening to the Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.